Hey Ruby, oh wee man, watch out, much mum doesn't kick you. Hi everybody, welcome back, and sorry we're actually quite far into the week already since you last saw me. It is Thursday. So yeah, Tuesday had the dental operation, went well, and ironically I was told to take it easy from that point in because I had 9 stitches inside my mouth. And no, at 1 AM I was pulling a cab out of a first-time 3-year-old. So, you know, that farming thing, yeah. Hated a buddy. So this little buddy is not very well. This is Ruby's boy. And he's never been quite right, but he's not well. So, we've been medicating him, and he's now getting electrolytes, and he's also on a big course of charcoal to coat his tummy because he's got bloody poop coming out. He's quite wobbly, but he's holding in, and mom is sticking by him. But I just learned a valuable lesson because I was making warm electrolytes. He doesn't want warm electrolytes. He wants ice cold electrolytes. And when you think about it, his little stomach lining is red raw, bleeding. What feels better on that than cold water? Because that's why they drink the crappy water, because it's ice cold. So there you go. If there's a handy tip for anybody to get from Piper Doug this week, it's that. Put your electrolytes in cold water. They want cold water. He's actually trying to lick off my pants, but he gets Borgal injection every day for 5 days. I'll try and remember here. They get half of this syringe day 1, and then the next day they get a quarter of the syringe in the morning, a quarter at night, and then they get a quarter of a syringe morning and night for the next couple of days. And that's supposed to coat their tummy, kind of like what the diatomaceous earth does. So, as you can see, he's quite stout, but that's actually a lot of swelling, you find out. That's what coccidiosis does to these calves. It causes their stomachs to swell up, and their stomach linings start coming out their bums. They're quite sick. And this heat, this will finish them off quicker than anything. So, that is us. Mark over there, she had a baby, so that is 80 cab cows now, 80 babies, AB man. So yeah, it's nice weather now, so hopefully things will get drying up. You can still see these little beggars drinking from that puddle. So hoping to get these animals out to the pasture soon. So, hey buddy. Well, happy Saturday everybody. I know it's not Saturday when you're watching this, but anyway. So yeah, we have a bit of a halfway house going here. So here's Mark and her wee baby boy from over here. And yeah, Mark is the one with the right hind foot that's got a really bad foot infection. It's more than just an infection though, it's something we haven't been able to get ahead of it. And yes, it's quite noisy, windy out here. There's Joker, her wee gorgeous baby there. I was keeping them in here until I saw them drinking, and I saw them drinking last night, even though I was pretty sure they'd been drinking this whole time. And yes, I am still talking weird because there's stitches in the roof of my mouth. Baby 81 is right through the middle of the screen there, red, big boy. So, we're down to almost 20 left in here. 8 in the second timers, or is it 7 now? I forget, maybe 8. And we're only halfway done with the first timers. But we went through this the same last year. Pretty sure there's 2 or 3 still to calve, but we'll see. Anyway, I'll bring you back in. And we're back. So, we are about ready to start letting the big main herd out to the paddock. So, it's kind of getting this cleaned up. That's what today is, getting cleaned up and getting ready. So we've got to close this in. And then we went and got these two gates, and these are super nice. They're aluminum, or as we would say in the old country, aluminium, very light, 6-bar gates. $360 a piece for 16 footers, which is a dang good price, I believe. So, hanging from there, we're actually going to move this post out a bit because we've got a fair bit of overlap. So we're going to move the post back to the tree, because this one is all out of whack. There's just no way we can hang a gate on that and it'd stay good. So we're going to put a couple of extra posts in here, hang these. They didn't have enough gates at Verdon Valley View Co-op. Big shout out to Verdon Valley View Co-op. I can't remember the name of the guy that was helping me. He was very, very knowledgeable. So I've ordered the 2 of those red gates for here, 2 of the red gates for here. Ta-da! So yeah, Liam is home from Thunder Bay. He's done school. Still waiting for the last of his marks, even though the teachers are late getting the last of the marks in. Gosh knows, students can't hand their stuff in late. Teachers sure can. So this was the plan all along, was instead of having these hot wires, as I was going to have gates, because I like gates. You might know that, considering it's the same gates that's down. You can barely see them, they're right there. So I ordered 6 more of those red gates, 16 footers, and then I've ordered 2 10 footers for there and 2 10 footers for there. And the reason that these are an odd number, like 20 feet not, just make the gateway 16 feet, as I need to make the gateway big enough to get in and out with the disc bind header, which is 16 feet. And I didn't want to be doing any wiggling, plus I need to get in and out of these paddocks with the tractor and plough when we're doing our rotational tillage. So the one thing left to do is still, we're hanging another gate from that post. So when we go to move from this paddock to these paddocks, that gate will hook to that gate, and this gate will clamp back to the wall, and then that will give them access into here but back to the water trough, and then those gates close. See where I'm going with this? Might still be putting gates here because I do have to get in and out of here to water these trees, but I might just end up putting wire here. I don't know. Like I said, I like the security of gates versus those wire slabs are not great. But yeah, as you can see, the grass is starting to grow, people. We're getting grass. So might be bringing the harrows out to do this field, get all the poops broken down. This one I'm not worried about because it's going to get plowed. So yeah, like I said, Liam is home from college and university because he did college first. And the graduation is at the end of May, so we'll all be heading out there for the big ceremony. I just got to go in here and pick up the last of the net wrap because they can be in there. There's nothing in there that can hurt. So yeah, that's where we're at. Sorry there's not been a lot of updates this week. It's stuff's still happening. It's just as you can all imagine, I am still getting over the surgery, and talking is not exactly pleasant, as you can tell from the way I sound. Having stitches hanging out the roof of my mouth and along my gums is not comfortable. But anyway, so I might do some pruning on this to get, so I can get the post pounder in here. And no, I'm not cutting the tree down. I'm mostly wanting this tree to fill out. That way it causes a bit of a windbreak in the winter. That's why it's here. Before people start asking why there's a tree still here in the way. Because it does serve a purpose. So yeah, like I said, if you're looking for affordable field gates, you wouldn't put these in a corral in a sorting center. I'll put it that way. Because one bull would fold one of these shut like a deck of cards, but yeah, no, they're definitely value for money. Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna get to setting up bales before Liam comes out to help me do the gate bossing, and then the boss lady will come out, and we've got some processing to do. We got that new baby in there to do. We got Joker's cap to set up, and then so what we'll do is we'll feed these guys today, get the rest of these sorting, setting up, and bales moving and panels moving. Tomorrow, first thing, we're going to put a bale in this pen. Hurry all the mums and babies into this pen and then close that panel. Close everybody in here. And then as they finish up the bale, we will move all the bale feeders from that pen out to there and do a full bale feed out in the field. So when the mums go out, they don't come rushing back in looking for the babies, and then that way we can usher the babies out through here. So like I said, I want to scoop the last of this muddy crap up, because the plan is come summer when Billy starts hauling the shale back in, we are going to be filling up this area, and then this whole area is getting filled with shale, and then we're leaving a water run at the back of the shelters that runs right to there. Got it? Got it? Good. Let's get on. Alright. Update. Oh yeah, and before I forget, I'm going to put a picture in here shortly of when your kid comes home from university and they disappear, and you're out medicating a calf, and you look across. Where are you going to find your farm kid after they've been gone for a couple of months off in a city? Here. So there you go, checking on his coo. So yeah, this is what we've been up to. So yeah, this is what we've been planning all along, is getting gates hung. So like I said, these are the aluminum gates, and the reason that we went with these ones cost, but the reason we also went with these is these are not high traffic gates. Animals go in and then they're shut in. It's not like we're going to be sorting animals with these gates, so they're very lightweight. These are 6-bar gates, so they are actually fairly strong. Like, I'm not going to stand on the end of the gate and test the hinges, but they're not going anywhere. So the one thing left to do is I'm either going to make a drop pin or get one of those drop pin kits, and that way that this gate here, the one that's on the back side, you can lock it to the ground, just like a step-in pin, and then when we are bringing a couple of cow-calf pairs from the halfway house out to the pasture when they're ready, we just open this one gate out and slip them in when there is cows here at the water trough. Because that was the whole thing, was it has to be where I can be bringing the cows and calves, and Mrs. Piper Doug can just slip this one gate open, we just chuck them in and off they go. So yeah, like I said, these are Value View Co-op 16-foot aluminum gates, $360. I think they're around about the exact same price at PV Mart right now if you check online. And like I said, you'd make a 6-bar gate out of steel, and you tell me you can do it much cheaper. That comes with the hinges, the pins for the posts, and secure gates, and the little gusset notch. Like I said, you try and tell me you can do it cheaper, paying yourself time. So yeah, like I said, I've got another, what did I say, guys? Another 6 coming of these, and then there's 4 of the smaller gates for the paddocks. So we will be buying a whole pile of gates. I'm going to be buying a whole bunch of 12-footers for the new building that's going up, hopefully in the fall, to be talked about at a later date. And then there'll be a bunch more of these gates coming, because we have a new gate on the new fence going along the north that has to be rebuilt because I got grassed on. And then there's a new fence going down the ravine. There'll be a single gate, just a 16-footer over there, and then same down at the bottom. So there's a couple of good projects this year, so stick around, you never know. Okay, so tomorrow, hopefully by the end of the day, the big herd will be out. Right now the big herd, I think I tallied it up, the big herd is 68 cow-calf pairs in that lot to come out here, which is usually more than we like to have in that pen at this point. But we've had a good success rate with getting calving going pretty briskly. So yeah, so like I said, there's 20 more still to calve in here. Half of them are still to come out here. Half of them will be going to the forever paddock. And then there's a few still from the second timers to come across. So there will be, one way or another, there'll be about 80, somewhere around about 85 cow-calf pairs are going to live out this way. And then the rest will be either that paddock over there, or that paddock to the south. Okay, have a nice Saturday night. Yeah, little do they know, they're going out to the big pasture tomorrow. Talk about run. The only bit I worry about is gopher holes. They love that hill. Zoomies. Zoomies and the fighties. Or as we call them, the dunts. They like to just ram each other. Dunts, dunt, dunt, dunt. So the nice thing is, there's actually a puddle in the middle of the pasture there. It's completely bone dry now. So at least we're not going to have that to contend with once they go out there. That's probably the only standing water in this pen now, and that is that one low spot we didn't get filled in last year. So it's on the list for this year. So there's one random little spot of not good poo that I've seen here, and I've checked every calf and there's not one calf showing signs. So just gotta keep an eye on them. Of course now they stop. When you get the whole horde moving, it is something to see. The whole creatures. One big movement. I see you. That's one of the mini moose calves. Just beasts. Whoa. There's been some collisions at that right at that intersection there between the two pens. They come round the wall not seeing each other and boom. So there's the irony, that calf that was really sickly that was earlier in the video that I was medicating, it's to get its fourth needle. I literally can't catch it. It's turned around that good. So like I said, between the needle, the electrolytes, making the warm electrolytes, not the warm electrolytes, the room temperature, not hot. And that charcoal paste down the throat, that charcoal paste seems to be the clincher. Because we had a calf like that last year, ironically. This little cow right here. Joker, that's her baby there. Well, her baby last year, it passed away. We got it to the vets. It was in the same shape as that one that you saw earlier in the video. We got it to the vets, they put an IV in it. They medicated the ever-loving bejesus out of it. And I was giving the injections out in the paddock and it still died. And then it was after that they said, well, maybe try this charcoal on the next one, and we never lost another calf. So the charcoal is like the step up from this stuff, diatomaceous earth. The charcoal coats the stomach lining and stops the bleeding, stops the fissures in the stomach lining. So, yeah. Okay, keep on top of it. Okay, gotta go in for a rest. Yeah. So step one is complete. Panels are in, all the animals are in the middle pen. This big pen next to the bulls is empty. So this pen, we will not use this pen anymore. So I'm going to grab that bale feeder, and move it out to the field, put the hay bales in that, so then when we slip these out later on tonight, mums will go straight to the bales and then we can wrangle the babies out. And yeah, then we're good. We're starting grazing 2024. There's the alfalfa. There is a strip there that needs to be filled in when I get the cedar back this spring. But the rest of it is coming in. Whoop whoop! Pasture's starting, so yeah. Hopefully in the next clip you're going to see some coos running. Nice. Everything's starting to green up. So the great thing is, Liam being home, he knows how to run the drone. So he's got some footage. Hopefully I can enter it at some point here. Yeah, and so we got 68 cow-calf pairs out. So hopefully that's good. We've got some bad weather coming in either tomorrow night and the next day, or the next day and the next day. 2 days, and it's supposed to be cooler and it's supposed to be wetter. So the fact that they're out here, that's great. And yeah, there's a little bit of growth already, but they've got hay out there, so nice. Nice to have that done. Yeah, she's raining again. It's supposed to be a lot more rain towards the end of the week, and that's not the worst. That's not a bad thing. Especially now that we've got this crew out to the field, as you saw in the previous clips. So what are we doing today, Piper Doug? Well, I'm going to enter a picture in. So, that is Mark. And some of you might remember from earlier in the winter, there was a cow over here, a 4-year-old, who was a year older than the ones that are supposed to be in that field, in that pen. She was in there because she was lame, and she had a back right foot that was badly overgrown. We weren't sure what was wrong with it, and maybe it was necrosis of the toe or something. Well, we got her loaded up, her and her baby, got them loaded up last night into the trailer after we moved the cows out. So Liam and I headed over to the vets first thing this morning. We had an appointment with Nadine. Big shout out to the Verdun Animal Hospital. They got us in there and did a full foot trim, all 4 feet. Checked over her foot. She did say that there is sort of a genetic formality in her, and I talked about Mark's sisters. Both of them have foot abnormalities, so yeah, we're gonna have to watch out for that in the future. But a good foot trim, a check over, deep cleaning with a knife, didn't even have to do any antibiotics. Mark is back home and she's already out in the gen pot with her baby because she got a clean bill of health. The toe is healthy, and she was walking like an absolute superstar when she got off the trailer with the full foot trim. So that's definitely something we're going to have to look at in the future, is to get foot trimming done a bit more often on certain animals that are more prone to it. So At some point going forward with our designs, we're going to either have a crush with a foot winch, because I can do foot trims, I just don't have anywhere I can do it. Growing up on a dairy farm, you watched a lot of foot trimming and you got stuck in too. Anyway, and then you'll also notice that there's no other animals in here. So Joker and her baby, they are good to go. Mum and baby were fully bonded. So Mark and Joker and babies are all out in the field. So that is 70 cow-calf pairs out in the paddock now. So what are we doing in here? So I'm robbing that bale feeder, because that's mainly just sticks and stems are left in there. I'm going to leave this one here for when we have our overnighters. So what will happen is, as the last ones are crossing the road from the second timers and the old timers, will come in here, and then they will go in, come down through the maternity pen, and then you'll look there, see there's a gap. I've pushed the top of this panel into that pen about 10 feet. So I have a gate that will go from there back to the maternity pen that will let them come into here, not there. So yeah, as we process them down through the head gate, some will get their forever tags, some will get repair tags, come into here, they'll overnight here, and then they'll go on to the pen on day 3, I think it is, depending on weather. If it's bad weather, we'll turn them straight out, but good weather, we let them overnight in here. First night with their babies, second night in here with their babies, and then out they go. That's our plan. Probably if I drive forward you can see it better. The only downside to this design is that the drain is right there. So I've got the shark cage sitting there, so I'm going to set that over the drain so mums can't step into that. So yeah, like I said, I just push this panel out. I have a gate that goes back to the maternity pen, and then that creates our little segue into here. So that's how our system works. We no longer have animals in here, because as the cows are now coming into heat, these peckerheads are acting like dullards. They're almost breaking the cables. So it's another month till we turn the bulls out to the cows. So yeah, they just have to suck it up. So that's where we're at. Yeah, as you can see, we're steaming up because it's wet. Anyway, on we go. Holy moly. I'm still here. So, wrap up for the week. I know. Yeah, it's Tuesday again. I tell you, this Tuesday's, touch wood, going to be a lot more enjoyable than last Tuesday. Yeah. So, oh my gosh, I don't even know where to wrap up. So yeah, today we took Mark, the young cow, to the vet. She got a clean bill of health, nice trimmed feet, and she's looking a lot better. Piper Doug went to his vet and got a check over by the old doctor, because they need to check and make sure my back is still going in one direction and not in many directions. I said I'm doing fairly good. I have to go back to the old dentist this Friday so they can check up on how the stitches are holding up in my face, and most of them have fallen out, but nothing's fallen out of my face yet, so that's good. Yeah, that's good. You have to dig that tractor out for the boss lady. Grass is starting to grow. Yay! So, yeah. A lot has happened this week, eh? That's all right. Yeah, I'm cleaning up a space here because Liam starts his new job next week, I think. So he wants me to check over his brakes. Well, I'm going to check over his brakes with him because his car hasn't done a lot of miles lately, except for the drive home, which for those of you in Europe, his drive home from the neighboring province to here was 11 hours. One trip. Yeah. And that's just pointing west and just driving west. So yeah, he said the brakes were a little spongy, so we're gonna take the calipers off, and then we're gonna check all the slides and make sure they're all very lubricated, and then we'll measure the pads and see where they're at for that. So that's gonna be a little job here in the next day or so. So yeah, Big herd is out to the pasture. The first time calvers are only half calved, but we're probably going to let them off into the little pasture out here because they're talking a fair bit of rain Wednesday, Thursday and Friday. And I'd far rather just have them out onto the grass at that point than have them in the bedding. So that's what we're going to be doing right away. Oh my gosh. So it looks like growing season 2024 has begun. Cedars are starting to roll, which is kind of cool. It's kind of cool the fact that I don't have to go run one while I'm still calving. So thanks for watching, everybody. Thank you for clicking the video. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down, whatever you want to do on the way out. And if you haven't subscribed, go give that subscription button a little ding-a-ling-a-ling there. And if you think of anybody else that might enjoy watching Wreck-It Ranch here, then just you share that right away. So yeah, take care. Everybody have a good week, and we will see you in the next video. Tatty bye. Still waiting on the parts.